And maybe the question was never, why did this happen to me? Maybe the question is really, what now?
Yo, you should start a podcast.
The woman who stands in the middle of uncertainty and realizes she can't go back to who she used to be. Porque esa misma mujer eres tú.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, I am sharing with you all someone who is very special to me. Okay. She is a Latina. She is a firefighter. And she is stepping on these dudes' neck every time she clocks in. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Honestly, don't know how to feel about sharing her because I don't play about my friends. I do not play about my friends. So you better be nice. Okay. She is a mother and she is here to talk to us today about breaking barriers as a Latina in male dominating fields. A mother that is navigating raising a child with special needs. Allow me to introduce you to the beautiful Wilmarie Diaz.
Hello.
Welcome to Nat Said It, baby.
Thank you for having me here.
How do you feel, honey?
Happy and nervous all at the same time.
Are you nervous?
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do an icebreaker, okay?
Dale.
Because I came up with like a really fun icebreaker, and we're gonna do like a rapid fire, and you have to answer like as fast as you can. Okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Because we're gonna start out with Wilmarie outside of the uniform.
Yes.
Okay. Coffee or Energizer drink?
Coffee.
Do you make your coffee or do you buy your coffee?
Both, but I usually buy it.
What's your coffee order?
My
I don't even
coffee-
know this, and I'm your best friend.
So I have two coffee orders,
Mhm.
either an iced doppio, which is a double espresso, or a white mocha.
and
It
this is
depends.
Starbucks.
Starbucks. Yep.
Starbucks, girl.
Starbucks or Doro. Mm-hmm.
Okay, ready? What is playing in your AirPods on leg day?
Leg day, we got some. It depends. Leg day is usually worship music, actually. Crazy, right?
Cut it out.
I'm serious.
Since when did this happen?
It just, I don't know.
Wait, you told me this not too long
Yeah.
ago. And it's coming up again.
Mhm.
You see, like, this is my girl. We talk every day, but she still surprises me sometimes. So that's what we've been doing? Worship?
Worship music.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. What's one song? Levanto mis manos.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. But I like Holy Forever.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Send me that one, friend.
I will.
I need to listen to more worship music in my life. Okay. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Oof. Like with anything, or
I just think about one of your biggest pet peeves.
one of my biggest pet peeves when people don't floss.
Tell me.
I don't like talking to people that don't floss.
Okay, because how do you know?
Because you see,
You just
yeah,
because
you see the.
you're a flosser.
I am. And
like-
you see the food and the
I remember one time I FaceTimed you and you opened up your FaceTime flossing.
Yes.
Okay. My girl does not play around. Okay? Floss your teeth. Do me a favor and floss your teeth. What is something you're secretly terrible at?
Other than my job right now, what am I terrible
Dang.
at?
You are not terrible at your job. I don't
I'm
care
learning.
what those
I'm
men
learning.
tell you.
I'm learning. Something I'm terrible at. Jeez, you got me with that one. And then I'm sure
I
there's
could
a lot
probably
of
think
things.
of this.
Go ahead.
What is something she's terrible at? I don't know. You know what?
Oh,
You're pretty
I'm a terrible
perfect.
singer. Singing, terrible.
I've never heard you sing,
Oh, because I'm terrible.
but you can rap. Yeah, you can.
I might be able to.
Yeah, I know you know. I know you have a few
spit a
verses.
few bars.
I haven't seen that side of you, but I know that you can rap. What is the most Puerto Rican thing about you?
Everything. Having a conversation, speaking Spanglish.
Spanglish.
Music on a Saturday morning,
Mhm.
cleaning the house.
Wait, what is the most Puerto Rican thing you do on a daily?
The most Puerto Rican thing other than cooking, because I only cook Puerto Rican food.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the most Puerto Rican thing I do.
The most Puerto Rican thing you do on a daily is cook for your family.
Yes.
Okay. We like it. All right, I like this one. What is your hidden talent?
My hidden talent. Gosh, you're getting me with these.
I know, I know, and I didn't even give you these
I
because
know.
I wanted you to answer on the spot.
Dang. My hidden talent. I don't
You're
know.
psychic. That's her hidden talent.
I'm a pretty good energy reader. I am.
You pick up on things.
I pick up on energy very fast.
You're really, really good at that. I
yes.
thought I was good at that. In this friendship, you're really good at that.
Yeah, I could read people pretty well.
Mhm. It's my favorite thing about you. Okay, so now that we know a glimpse about who you are, let's talk about the part that many do know you about. Well, many do know you for. You're a firefighter,
Mhm.
and you're not just any firefighter, but you're a Latina
Mhm.
firefighter, right? Um, and in a very heavily male-dominated career. Okay, that's men. Mostly men are firefighters.
Mhm.
How did we get here? Tell the people. Tell the
So,
people what. How did you get here? What inspired you to become a firefighter?
so what inspired me? So I didn't grow up wanting to be a firefighter, right? I didn't see a fire truck and say, "Oh my God, I want to be in there." I actually was going to school for nursing before I had my son. Um, had my son, we had complications having to take care of him. I had to drop out of nursing school. My boyfriend's a firefighter.
Yeah.
I have family in the fire service. And it was one of those things where I just saw an opportunity. Um, the application came out, and I was a stay-at-home mom at that time.
Okay.
And I was like,
Talk to us a little bit about that.
okay,
How
yeah.
that was.
So, having JoJo so early and with all the medical, he was so medically fragile.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything, I couldn't go back to work. I had to drop out of school and just take care of him. So I did that for about 2.5 years, but
Because
during
those were
that,
the most critical times.
they were very
Right.
critical. We had appointments every single day.
Mhm.
Therapy, physical therapy, occupational speech, uh, therapists coming to my house.
Yeah.
So my world was that, I wasn't even really a mom at that time. I
Yeah.
was a caretaker, my goal every day was I need to make sure my kid stays alive.
Yeah.
And that became my identity.
And so, would you say that JoJo played a really big role into paving that road for you to waking up one day and saying, you know what, if I can do this, I can become a firefighter? Like, when did that happen for you?
So there was a time where it became very dark. I was in a very dark place. I have always been I've always been a hardworking woman.
Yeah.
And I was like, this can't be it. Yeah, my kid is like this, but this can't be it. Um, and although, thankfully we were in a good financial place with Joey still being the provider,
Yeah.
I'm like, our family deserves more.
Yeah.
And I deserve more as a woman, and
Talk
as
about
a
it.
mom.
Talk about it.
And so I was like, this isn't for me. There's
Yeah.
women that do it, and
You mean
I'm
like
like,
staying at
praise,
home?
yes. And I'm just
Okay.
like, ooh, good for them.
Yeah.
But it just I felt like something was missing. And then just having all the experience, like having to learn how to check my son's oxygen, how to count his breaths, how to
Yeah.
like respond fast, because
Right.
there were times where it was life and death,
Yeah.
I was like, once I saw that application, I'm like, I have nothing to lose. Let me just
And
go
so,
for
like,
it.
you saw the opportunity, you saw the application, and you decided, like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do this. That
Mhm.
is bold.
Mhm.
That is so bold.
I
That is
know.
literally like my favorite thing about you.
Thank you.
Because, and I tell everybody for no reason. I'll just be like, my best friend is a firefighter. Don't talk to me. My best friend is a firefighter. Mostly men, I say that too. But That is incredibly bold that you decided to take on and embark on that journey.
Mhm.
And I know that it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was something where I still got to help people. Like I've always been very passionate about that, helping people possibly on their worst day.
Yeah.
And it was a career where I was still gonna fulfill that part that I wanted, like that I wanted so bad with nursing.
But back up here because
Mhm.
when I say like it wasn't easy for you, you did it a couple times.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
applied to be a firefighter.
Yep.
And this was during the time where you were in your dark place, where you were
Yes.
like, you know what? So walk us through, because I think that is so important, especially women out there, mothers that are mothers to special needs children, or women that are thinking about applying in and going into male dominating fields, that you did it and it didn't work out for you the first time. And you
Right.
prepared for that.
Right.
And so walk us through what that looked like, preparing for it, not getting it, and how you were able to put yourself to do it again.
So like I said, so my boyfriend in the fire service, I have a
Mm-hmm.
cousin that's also in it. So they were like, study this book,
Yep.
and it's the Baron's book for firefighting, and that's going to help
That's for
you.
the written test.
That's for the written
Oh my
test.
God.
And at the time I wasn't working out like I do now, so it's like I also had to get prepared for the physical because I had to take a physical agility test.
Right.
So I think the first time I focused a little too much on the physical agility where I
And not enough studying for the written.
correct. So I passed the physical agility, but
Mm-hmm.
when it came to the written, I didn't pass it by I think it was like by like 4 points or something like that.
Oh wow, I didn't know it was 4 points.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
thought it was
like,
more than that.
no, it was like,
Oh dang, so you were
yeah,
close.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. This
So
makes sense as to why you would do it again because you were so close the first time.
I was, and
Mm-hmm.
for a little bit, I was like, you know what, maybe it's not for me. Like I did get a little discouraged.
What
Um,
was the time in between
from
the first time you tried to when you did it again?
so for where I'm currently working now,
Yeah.
the time in between was about, I think, like no, mentira. I think it was like 3.5 years,
Okay.
something like that.
Oh, that's a good chunk of
Yeah, but during
time.
that time, I also applied to other departments, and I
Okay.
did pass those tests,
Okay.
but I was put on a waiting list.
Oh, I
So,
see.
never got a
Okay.
call back.
Uh-huh.
So I went back to my old job and kind
Yeah.
of just did that until, another opportunity arrived.
Was it always a plan to do it again, or did you like put it down and then when the opportunity came again, you were like, fuck it? Like, was it always a plan to do it again?
So, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I kept telling myself no, but I think that was just me kind of getting over the fact that I didn't pass the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I still kept training for it. I was like, this time around, if it happens, I'm like, I got a trainer.
I
I was
remember that trainer girl.
Yeah, I got a trainer.
Mm.
He gave me a meal plan.
Mm-hmm.
I read the
I say
book.
that with a little bit of like fear because I decided to go to the gym with her while she was working with this trainer that was preparing her for like, the physical and everything like that. And long story short, I threw up. Long story short, in the middle of our set, I said, girl, hold on. And I walked to the bathroom and I freaking threw up all of my coffee that
I
I
know,
had
I
on the drive
remember.
over
I
to the
felt
gym. I don't
so
know why I thought
bad.
that was a good idea. But you were going
Yeah.
hard. I
Yep.
remember.
So I was like, this time around, I'm gonna apply and I'm gonna go hard. So I'm
Yep.
gonna get all my resources in line. So I got a trainer. I was eating,
Mm-hmm.
the right foods.
Mm-hmm.
I read that book. I downloaded apps to prepare me for the written.
You were all in.
I was all in.
You dedicated all in.
I
It
did.
wasn't something that you did on the fence.
No, no.
And so, like, what would you tell a woman that is preparing to get into a male dominating field, like what police, firefighter? What would you tell that woman?
It's hard. It's difficult. People are not gonna make it easier. You do have, great guys that see you as one of them. They want you to get better. And then there's other ones that are not going to. There's other ones that are gonna make it hard. They're gonna talk shit, and
Mm.
it's like you also have to go in with the mentality of, okay, I'm going into a male dominating field. I need to be one of the guys. Because the moment you go in there thinking, well, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
female and, I have all these rights. Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. So like, and we talked about this before,
Mhm.
like going in with like this feminism, revolution into a male dominating field where you're saying you're actually giving a different perspective.
Mhm.
You're kind of giving like the GI Jane perspective. Like, I'm showing my age. GI Jane. I know you saw GI Jane. You saw GI Jane.
Yes.
She literally
Yes.
transformed
Yes.
herself into a man
Yes.
because she wanted to be respected. And
Mhm.
you're kind of talking about that same approach where you went in very much so like, I need to be one of them.
Yes.
How did you do that? In what ways did you do that?
You got to tap in, you got to
Yeah.
know what you're signing up for. And it's the prissiness out the door. Like you're still
Yeah.
a woman at the end of the day,
Yeah.
but you can't feel bad for yourself.
Mhm.
You're going into, you're demanding respect. The hard things, there's going to be hard things for you to do, right? Because we're not as strong as men. And as much as
Mhm.
we want to say, well, some of us are, no, we're not.
Okay.
We're not.
Okay. I would never play myself.
At
I would
the
never
end
play
of the
myself.
day,
Right.
the physical strength,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be stronger than
Men are
us.
strong.
They are.
Right.
But we're also strong,
Mhm.
mentally.
Right.
Sometimes we can be stronger than them. And
We know this.
I
Mhm.
think that when I went into the academy, I went in with the mindset of I'm strong. I'm a strong ass woman.
Period.
Like I'm physically strong.
Uh-huh.
I'm only gonna get stronger.
Uh-huh.
And the shit that I've dealt with my kid,
Exactly.
almost watching him
Prepared you.
die
Prepared you for this.
mentally, yes.
Really.
And they try to break you. And it's not just because you're a woman, they do it to everyone.
Right.
And
Did you feel like it was Did you feel like you got Wait, first of all, I want to back up before we really dive into
Mhm,
that
mhm,
because I want the people to also kind of relive that experience for you of how it was like when you got in.
mhm.
When you got that call that hey, you're in the academy. Like what was that moment like for you? I'm smiling because I remember that moment. I felt like I was living that moment with you. I really felt like I was in the academy with you in every step.
Well, it was
But
funny
go ahead.
because I got a phone call from the assistant chief and I missed it.
Mm.
And
Not
I was
missing,
like,
not missing the call.
I'm like, this number looks weird.
You're
I
like,
said,
"¿Quién es este número?"
but I'm like New Britain. So I'm like,
We do not play about the unknown callers.
let me listen to the voice message. So he was telling me like, you basically like you got you're hired, you start the academy such and such date. There's gonna be, a list of things that
You
we
need to
have
get
to
done.
do
Yeah.
before you go into the academy. Please
Uh-huh.
call us back to accept the job offer. And I was like, oh shit. Right? Because I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, I'm like
Um,
reliving this all over again because that was so exciting.
It was very
That was
exciting.
so exciting.
It was the most exciting yet scariest
Oh
phone
my
call in
God,
my
my
life.
heart was pounding.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, so you get the call, whatever. We celebrate. We're like super excited.
Mhm.
I'm like really living this moment with you. I'm like,
Mhm.
fuck yes, I know that's right. My girl is getting into the academy.
And
Like, uh-huh.
it was just hard too because no one knew. Like only my closest friends knew,
Right.
which was
Were you
like
scared of that? Were you scared of like, oh shit? Did you feel like a little bit of imposter syndrome?
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You're
didn't want
like,
to
this
tell
shit got too
people.
far.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell people. I was like, oh my God, what if I fail again? It's embarrassing. Like, like who do I think I am? Like,
Ah,
yeah. And so,
wow.
especially where I work, right? Like, there's other cities that have way more females. Where I work, there's only like 5 or 6 of us.
Okay.
And so I'm like, oh my God,
Actually, that's a lie. I didn't know it was 5 or 6 of y'all.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And I'm like, these girls are tough, and I'm like,
Right.
do I really have what it takes? Like, I was scared.
I'm laughing because we really like laughed about this together. And we were like scared together, but like at the same time, I would tell you, like, fuck that bitch, you're strong as
Yes,
hell. And I would
yes.
remind you, like, girl, you were already being prepared for this. You were made for this.
One of the things that I remember, the day that I went into the academy, you text me and you were like, pussy power, bitch.
Period. Period. And
I
I
was
say that
like,
respectfully
yeah.
because women push out full-blown human beings, okay? I think it's interesting that men call each other pussies. And really, like, let's be frank. That pussies are pretty strong,
Yeah.
okay?
Yes.
We're pretty strong.
Yes.
Okay, we bring out full-blown human beings.
Yes.
We procreate.
Yes. They're
Okay,
more
and
like a pair
contribute
of
to society.
they're more like a pair of
Okay, and
balls.
I would
Yeah.
text her in the morning, and I'm like, "Bitch, pussy power.
Mm-hmm.
Go into that academy
Mm-hmm.
and show them who you are."
Mm-hmm.
And so, academy life.
Cried every day. I did, because it was so hard. It was hard, but they're like, don't feel bad for yourself. Like, push. Like, are you gonna do that when
Tell us a quick story. Tell us a quick story about something that was very difficult for you in the academy that you thought was gonna be the end all.
Going into the conics box was definitely.
Okay, tell us what
I'm
that
gonna
is.
explain what that is.
Uh-huh.
So the conics box is basically a tunnel, and we go in full gear, mask, air tank, like full gear.
Uh-huh.
And this tunnel is very narrow,
And
and
you're
you're going in crawling.
Uh-huh.
Well, little did I know that I did have some claustrophobia.
Wait, so you didn't know before then?
No, had no idea.
Okay.
So I'm like, I start going in,
Uh-huh.
and all of a sudden I start freaking out.
Well,
And so,
what was the goal of how fast you needed to crawl through that
well,
thing?
it's not how fast; it's just crawling through it. It's getting through that mental. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be scary, but you got to push, right? Because
Right.
at the end of the day, if a ceiling comes down, if there's a
Right.
collapse, or if you're on, if you're on the top floor and the floor collapses and you have to crawl out,
That's crazy.
then you have to find your way, and it's just keeping calm
It
during
just
a
hit me
very
that you really
stressful
signed up to do that. Like you
Yeah.
really signed up to put your life at
to risk
risk.
my life every time I
Yeah,
go to work.
literally.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to get off track because I
Yeah.
want to get back to when you were freaking out in the
Yeah.
tunnel.
So at one point, so I'm going, and at one point I stop. And it was like that point where I just started like hearing myself breathe. Like I was like hearing myself,
Like
because we have a mask on. So you're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, I started freaking out,
Yeah.
anxious. Like, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
How soon
um,
after you started crawling that you started freaking out?
It was
Was it pretty
fast.
quick?
It was like probably 2 minutes in,
Okay.
fast. And so I'm like freaking out, and the instructor, he's like, Diaz, go, go, go. Like he's
He was
like,
yelling at you?
oh yeah.
I would
And
have cried.
oh, I was crying.
Oh, not
And
in the tunnel.
Yeah, I was crying
You
in the tunnel. I
did?
did. And so then
Friend, you didn't tell me that.
one thing he said was, your son is at the end of the tunnel and he needs help. And I was
Stop.
like, you really took it there? So then I'm picturing like my son, like needing my help. And I'm crying and I'm fighting through it, and
Oh God, I'm about to cry now.
yeah, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, and I had to put myself in that place where I said to myself, my son needs my help.
Yeah.
And so I did. It took me longer, but I got through it, and yeah, it was probably the worst experience of the academy.
And then, but it built you.
It did.
That moment built you.
It did. It did. When you go through all of that,
Yeah.
and you have people yelling at you in stressful situations,
Yeah.
it does rewire your brain.
Sure.
Then you're built different. You're not
Yeah.
just the same person that came in.
Right.
So
What
it was
happened when
hard.
you got through at the end of the tunnel? Was there more yelling? Like, or was it a celebration?
No, he grabbed my shoulder, and he's like, that's what the fuck you do.
Oh,
He's like, you fucking push, because we have no time.
I'm getting
Like
so emotional.
any time wasted can cause someone's life.
That's
So
right.
he's like, so that's what the fuck you do. He's like, you suck it up, don't feel bad for yourself, and you keep pushing.
Yeah.
And it builds resiliency. Like you'd be amazed at a lot of the things that you can do
Yeah.
when you have to talk positively to yourself,
Right.
So I'm so thankful for it because it did change me.
And at did you ever feel underestimated during your time at the academy because you were a woman? And
Absolutely.
tell and walk us through that, and how you navigated that.
Um, so it was never really like it was never obvious, like it's not like, oh, we're gonna make her feel this type of way. But
Was
you
it
can
like passive aggressive
not
almost?
even, not even. It's just it's one of those things where or you know what? It could have been me, honestly.
Mhm.
It could have
Mhm.
just been a me thing where I'm just like, oh, like they don't think that I can do this because I'm a woman. So now I have
Okay.
to prove to them that I can.
Okay. So
You
you
know,
feel like some of it was projection?
yeah, yeah. Um, and then, I did there were times where they were a little softer with me than they were with like the other guys. And I
Mm.
knew that it was because, like they're scared of like the discrimination and all of that stuff,
Right,
like
right,
getting
right. Getting in trouble because things are
exactly,
different now.
exactly.
Right.
So, but yeah, and then there was, I mean, most of the time, 95% of the time, they were as hard as they were, with the
On
guys.
you
Yeah.
than they were with the guys.
Yeah.
So you do feel like there were times where you were underestimated, but for the most part, you do feel like you got equal
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How how would you say that you as a woman earned respect in this field, and does that end?
Being one of the guys. And what I mean by that is there are going to be conversations that you hear
Yeah.
and again, you have to understand what you signed up for, right?
Yeah.
And so I always tell the guys, I'm like, I don't want you to tiptoe around me. There has to be mutual respect. I'm not going to disrespect you. You don't disrespect
Right.
me.
Like locker room
But
talk.
there's a lot of it.
Right.
That's what you signed up
And that's what you
for.
sign up for because you're in a male dominating field and this is their
Absolutely.
environment. So while you're at the firehouse, you might hear them do some locker room talk.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not one of those things where you have to join in, right? I'm not saying, oh, you have to join in because you have to.
Right.
But it's one of those things where you have to pick and choose. You pick and choose what is going to offend you. You pick and choose what you want to join in. Like
You don't really I guess feel entitled to I'm here in this room and
no,
you kind of rise above it and you're like, I don't even like I'm
I
not
don't
gonna entertain
care.
it. Like
Yeah.
whatever. I okay.
I'm like, I don't care. Like I laugh with them. We joke around all the
Mm-hmm.
time. They're like
Mm-hmm.
brothers to
You got
me.
tough skin.
Like they might not see me as their sister,
Right.
but
Right. Right.
I'm like, to me, they're like brothers. I was like, that's why
Little
God didn't give
brothers.
me
Little
brothers.
brothers.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I know they watching. You guys are great. Um, but wait, I was gonna ask you something. Okay, so that's more emotionally how
hmm
you earn respect
hmm
through your job. How do you earn respect performing as a firefighter as a woman in your job? And does
Getting
that end?
getting in there, even if you're gonna struggle. There's always gonna be someone that is gonna, like I said, is gonna be willing to help.
Yeah.
And using different body mechanics, they might use upper body strength. I use lower body strength.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way that they do something is gonna look different to the way that I do something because we're using two different parts of our bodies. Um, but doing and knowing what works for you,
Yeah.
um, and just showing them or showing yourself, right? It's more like showing yourself because I hate looking stupid. One of the things that I hate is looking stupid.
Okay, so really quick, let me cut you off because one of my favorite things about you, because we always do like a recap when
hmm
she clocks out.
hmm
And I'm always like, how was your shift, girl? And you are always one that wants to challenge yourself to learn more.
hmm
Because every single time I talk to you, you're like, I got to get better at this. I got
hmm
to get better at that. And so I think that right there speaks volumes on, you are someone that does want to earn respect, but you want to be good at your job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always tell myself I don't have to be the best, right? But I want to be great. And so my goal every single time I leave my job is what did I what new thing did I learn this shift?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I need at least 3. I
Yeah.
always give myself 3. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I learned this, and I learned that.
Mm-hmm.
Still need to learn my streets. Really bad with it, but I'm getting there.
She's gonna learn those streets. Y'all
I
need to
am.
relax.
hmm
What misconceptions do people have about firefighters now that you're a firefighter?
What misconceptions? Let's see. Um, that we sleep all day. We don't sleep all day.
Mm-hmm.
We
Well,
we
not your station.
not at
It's
my
like, let me stop
station.
being shady. Let me stop being shady. Uh-huh. You
um,
don't sleep all day.
we don't. We might cook all day, depending on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because different days look different. We might get a really busy day. We might get a really slow day.
Uh-huh.
That we're all fat. We're not all fat.
Yo, these misconceptions that you're giving out, they're funny because there are people that probably think that.
Yeah.
But I was thinking more like probably the biggest misconception is that people think that you guys just fight fires.
Oh yeah, that's only like 10% of our job.
10% of your job. Because
Yeah.
every time you talk to me, you be like, yeah, girl, we had a fire alarm.
Yeah, it's
And I
mostly
be
that.
wanting the tea.
It
I
is.
be wanting the tea.
It's
Like,
most-
girl, what did you do today? Like, what, crazy scene did you walk into? And she'd be like, yeah, no, just.
A dirty house, or a really hot attic.
Mm.
That's basically it, or we get
But
a
they're
lot of
mostly like medical calls.
they're medical calls,
Mhm.
overdoses, people with medical issues that are having an emergency, car accidents.
Do you find that when you show up to a scene, do you feel like the energy shift because you're a woman with who you're like attending to, like who the caller is when they see you? Do they feel like more comfortable with you? Is that something
Um,
that happens?
So I feel like they're more comfortable. So I work in like next to like a very Latino area.
Yeah.
So when
Well,
those
New Britain,
calls,
yeah, New Britain is
yeah,
mad
those calls come
Spanish.
in, I feel you can see like a sense of relief, especially when the only language they speak is Spanish,
Yeah.
because there's someone to communicate.
Right.
So that's when I feel it more,
Yeah.
not so much just for me being a female. Mhm.
Okay. And so people see the firefighter.
Mhm.
But when the shift ends, you go to one of your most important roles,
Mhm.
which is mom.
Mhm.
And like JoJo is how old now?
8.
8 years old. So tell us about what was going through your mind when you first received that diagnosis that he was cerebral palsy.
So the diagnosis, we didn't get it till like he was like 2.
Yeah.
But we did get, he's not gonna eat by himself. He's not gonna be able to move any of his limbs. He's not gonna be able to breathe on his own. Basically a vegetable, right?
Mm.
Yeah. And I was like, I I really after I kicked everyone out of my room, I was
In the
like,
hospital.
I
'Cause you
was
found out when
I
you
found out
had him.
when I had him. And I was like, God, I'm leaving it in your hands. You're not going to put me through anything that I can't handle.
Mhm.
And so at that moment, I was still in shock. Like I didn't know what to expect.
Because
I
you
didn't know.
were going through your pregnancy and you were having a healthy pregnancy.
Very healthy, very
Completely normal.
beautiful, nothing, no morning sickness, nothing. Yeah.
And like I can just imagine how your life just changed
Mm-hmm.
with receiving that news. This means that I'm not going to enjoy walks with my child, see him take his first steps. I'm not going to hear, him speak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to hear him say, I love you,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to swallow that
Oh yeah.
in a hospital room.
Oh yeah. It was more so not knowing if my kid was going to make it out of the hospital. It's this wasn't my first pregnancy. Um and I had already gone through a few miscarriages.
Yeah.
I think like 5 or 6 to be exact. Early in like early in the pregnancy, but it's still not hard, right? When you want to build a family so bad. And at a very early age in my teenage years, I lost a daughter, and I was like, one of the hardest things for a mom is to bury her own child. And so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't go through that again.
Right.
Like I don't want to go through that again. I know what that pain is. It's something that scars you for life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
You were
can't.
focused on, okay, you really locked into like, okay, I'm not going to have a normal parenting life with my child.
It's not gonna look like everyone
It's
else's.
not going to look like everyone else's. And so how did you shift? I mean, you're saying that, I mean, what was most important to you because of what you experiences with your losses and everything like that, like, okay, my boy needs me
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not about to bury this child.
No.
But you also had to decide how to shift that sadness. You had to grieve a life that you imagined
Mm-hmm.
with your son. You had to grieve that story and you had to shift it into a different story for you. So
Yeah.
how were you able to shift that around and say, you know what? I'm 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 okay. This is not bad.
So I that didn't happen for me for until a few years.
Yeah.
Like the first 2 to 3 years were very difficult, very difficult. Um, Also because that was all I knew now, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't have a life. It was just my
It
son.
was just your son, yeah.
So it was accepting the fact that I didn't have a normal baby.
Yeah.
Learning new things
Yeah.
that I wasn't trained for. Um,
And I'm sure too, it kind of made you a little hyper vigilant with advocating for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was also, you know, figuring things out with my significant other because he was also going through it. And it looked very
That's
different for the
yeah.
both of us. And, just kind of like having to deal with just trying to navigate,
Navigating
honestly,
all of
not
that.
navigating through life, through hospital stays, through trying to be a good girlfriend and a good mom. And
Yeah.
um, it was hard, and I didn't accept it until probably maybe the second or third year. I'm like, this is what my life looks like. It was kind of like when I hit rock bottom. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what
Rock
is
bottom with like emotionally with how you felt. Yeah.
emotionally, like everything, like just
Yeah.
everything. I'm like, this is not it.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do now?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I started looking at life differently. Um,
What did you have to do? What do you remember doing during that time where you were at rock bottom? How did you pull
um,
yourself out of that?
so
Because I wasn't in your life then.
no, nope. It was a lot of
I said because I wasn't in your life then, so I wasn't able to pull you out,
yeah. So
girl.
you're like, so how did you survive?
How do I make this about me?
How did you survive all
Stop.
of that
I
without
can't believe
me?
you went through this without me.
No, but
But yes,
um,
I don't you went through all of this and I feel like if I could speculate, did you have anyone, around you or did you
yeah.
had to pull you out of this?
I had people,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I've
yeah.
always had a good support group.
Your family, your
My
parents. I love
family,
your
his
parents.
family.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, we love Nancy.
so yes, shout out to
Mhm.
Nancy. Um, yeah, the good thing was that I did have a good support group. I had a strong support group. So just venting a lot and
Yeah,
just not
crying a lot.
crying a lot, that was huge
Yeah.
because people try not to cry. And I'm like, I always tell people, no, cry.
Yeah.
I'm like, cry, let it all out,
Absolutely.
be angry, let
Be
yourself feel
angry.
it. Let
I
yourself
say the
feel
same
it.
thing.
And
Yep.
so,
Those
that was
push those emotions away. You
no.
have to cry.
Yes.
You have to be angry.
Yeah. And so,
And you have
allowed
every right to be.
absolutely. I
Mhm.
allowed myself to feel bad for myself, but it was
Yeah.
also knowing not to stay there.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, nope, we're going to be looking at life a different way.
Yeah.
And so I dug again really deep into my faith. I prayed a lot. And that's just when these like new opportunities started
To come.
to come. Yeah.
Right.
Like I was just like, the I started going back to work. I only worked part-time at my old job at the eye
Yeah.
place.
Hmm.
So that was good. And then
And probably scary for you because that also meant that you had to leave him in
I had to be away.
care.
Yeah, I had to be away.
Hmm.
Thankfully, Joey was staying with him. So
Right.
it wasn't like anybody, it wasn't like a
Okay.
stranger.
Right. Right.
But yeah, it was being away
But
when I
you're
was
still
so
mom. We're
hands-on.
still mom.
Oh,
You know what I mean? It's
absolutely.
they don't get what they get from us from I'm gonna get canceled for this from dad. But there are listen, okay, I'm gonna get canceled. I'm not gonna
We
say what I'm gonna
we
say. You know what I'm trying to say.
I
Like
know what you're
you're
saying.
you're
Yeah.
we're mom at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
making that decision of knowing I need to pull myself out of this and
Mhm.
I'm gonna start with s- just going back to work.
Yeah.
You know, and you prayed a lot.
And I prayed a lot.
Yeah.
I
You
I
anchored down in your faith.
oh, I prayed.
Yeah.
I prayed. And so yeah, so then I started being a little bit more accepting,
Yeah.
right? Like, okay, this is what my life is going to be like. What can I do to adjust, right? Because when you're a special needs parent,
Yeah.
you are having to adjust to a world that's it's not accessible.
And it's not designed
It's not designed for.
for special needs, people with disabilities. The society is, we're better at it today, but it is very hard.
And you have to be willing to put in the work and do your own research.
Yeah.
Because, although we live in a very modern world,
Yeah.
you would think that the resources
Are there.
are there. Like,
That leads me to my next question. What would you tell another parent receiving a similar diagnosis with what you just said that, you would think that resources are just available
mhm,
for you?
mhm.
So, what would you tell another parent receiving this diagnosis? And like what advice would you give to them as far as resources go?
Do your research. I mean, I reach out to me, like I'm
Yeah,
like
please.
reach out.
Yeah.
I'm always willing to help. I don't gatekeep.
Mm-hmm.
I take my son to a very, very, very good physical
Do
therapist.
you want to shout them
P-
out?
Shout out to Pediaflex in Weathersfield. They're amazing. But doctors don't tell you
And that's
this
that's who he's been with since he was little,
since he
right?
was little.
Because I remember, him going to that therapy, and it has really made such a difference
It
because
has.
Jojo, Jojo gets around,
He
honey.
does. He does.
Jojo gets around, and
In his own way. Yeah, he does.
my favorite thing about Jojo, because he makes me laugh. First of all, Jojo is a salsero, and like, listen, if he could, he would be a conguero.
Oh yeah.
He would be a conguero because the only thing that calms him down is
It's
salsa.
salsa, and it's not Mark
I
Anthony.
love that. And it's not Mark Anthony. You need to
Anthony.
put some Fania.
Yep.
Fania All Stars. You need to put some Hector Lavoe,
Yeah.
some Rey Barreto.
Yep.
And because if not, he's gonna
Mm-mm.
throw a fit.
Oh, he
but as
is.
soon as you put some salsa that he likes, trucutu,
Yeah, that's his
I
favorite
love
song.
that.
That's his
and
favorite
it's like one
song.
of my favorite songs too.
Yeah.
He calms down.
Oh yeah.
And that's incredible because you still dance salsa when you were pregnant with him, right?
Yes. And Joey used to put my phone on my stomach, and he used to play salsa. So it's funny because he used to play, because we're super Puerto Rican.
Yes,
so
of course.
Joey would always play Preciosa, the Mark Anthony.
Aw. Did you
And
not like that song?
no, I loved
Oh,
it.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
But when
Because
he was-
earlier you said no Mark Anthony.
Oh
But
no,
go
no.
ahead,
But
go ahead.
what I meant by that was like the romantic salsa. He's
Right.
not really into. He's more
Mhm.
into salsa dura.
Yes, yes, yes.
So when he was still in my stomach,
Yeah.
he would play Preciosa, and so when he was a baby and he would cry, he would play Preciosa, and it was like
Okay,
silence.
but really quick, because I got off topic.
Yes.
So, yes, a parent receiving this diagnosis,
Yes.
resources, and you're saying do your research.
Do your research. Don't rely on doctors, because the doctors will only tell you what's covered. And so what I mean by that is like like all your therapies, right? Like physical, audiology, speech, any therapy, they'll tell you about it
Yeah.
because your insurance covers it. But anything outside of that,
Oh, my
they're not going to tell you
goodness.
about it. And so when I I just started researching, right? I
Yeah.
was like, nope, I want more for my child. I'm not just gonna settle for this. Like,
Yeah.
I want more for him, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes.
And it shows.
And
It
thank you.
shows with how he can move around. He
Mhm.
moves around. He gets to where he wants to get to. He does communicate. He
Mhm.
communicates in his way. And
Mhm.
you totally understand what he wants
Yes.
with how he communicates. That's
Yes.
incredible. But he wouldn't be able to move around as much as he does because we could probably lose him
Yes.
if we don't keep our eye on
Girl.
him. We'll
Girl.
lose Joe, honey. We'll lose him.
We on a leash.
And you did that. You did your research and you made sure I'm gonna give my son the best quality life that I'm gonna give him. You and Joe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And our family and our friends, because you know, it's not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing too. Like, being a special needs mom is very expensive.
I can
And
imagine just because you just said that there's certain things that is just not covered by insurance.
no, yeah, there's a lot of things that aren't covered by insurance. Even something as like a wheelchair, like they'll cover.
Which is so crazy to me.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's so upsetting.
Yeah. And so it kind of like
Did you
forces.
ever cuss a doctor out or an insurance person out?
Girl,
I know you have.
girl.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about insurance, doctors, school. Let's not talk about those IEP
Those
meetings.
IEP meetings. I know they hate to see you coming.
Oh, they hate to see
I
me
know they hate
coming.
to see you coming.
They hate my notebook.
You go in with a full
Oh,
blown
I go
notebook?
in with a notebook. Yes, because
And
we're taking notes.
that's
We're coming in with questions.
And so another parent that is receiving this diagnosis, who taught you about IEPs?
So my sister's a teacher.
Oh, that's
My
right.
mom
Shout out to
worked.
Damaris, we love you.
Yes.
Mhm.
My mom also worked in the school system, so that was helpful because my sister still being a teacher, she's like, you're gonna have to go through IEP meetings. There's gonna be, these people are gonna be involved. They're gonna have questions for you. Make sure you go in with questions. Make sure you go in like knowing what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because if not, they're gonna give him the bare minimum.
And it's really upsetting that unfortunately that is the reality of many parents, especially like I can speak, my son, he struggles with ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with ADHD,
So
which
do
is
I.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of us that are struggling with ADHD. Going into these IEP meetings is very intimidating
It is very
because
intimidating.
there are about 7 people there. Okay, they all have these special roles.
Mhm.
And all of the testing and all of these extra resources that we are advocating for that is supposed to be available to us, a lot of times the reality for us is that it's very hard and it's a fight to get them to kind of fold and give us these resources as
Mhm.
much as administrations like to sit and say like, oh yeah, we offer this, we offer that, we offer this. You have been in situations where you have really had to
Oh yeah.
advocate, and I
Oh
have been
yeah.
in those same
Oh
situations
yeah.
too.
And so going back to the parent, right? And um this new parent with a with the
Yeah.
diagnosis, and I would say get yourself an advocate.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with how the school system works for your child, or it's a completely different world, right?
Yeah.
So it's get yourself an advocate.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pay anything for it.
And where can one find an advocate?
So on just go
Did you get an
online.
advocate?
I haven't.
She's like, I am the advocate.
I am.
But that takes a lot.
It does.
It takes a lot of educating. It takes a lot of research. And I think it's if you don't have the flexibility, or you know what, if you're just scared, get an
Mhm.
advocate.
Mhm.
Research, advocates in your area, because there are advocates
Yeah,
that will come
nonprofit
with you.
organizations. Yeah.
Yes. And so, I think, do you know of any nonprofit organizations? You know what? You're going to look for them now because people are
I
going to be
am.
contacting you.
I will
Mhm.
because my sister's, like I said, my sister's a teacher.
Yeah.
So she works with parents that have advocates and stuff. So it's out there. We'll get the
Yeah.
information. Yeah.
We're going to help these moms out.
Yeah.
And so, Do you want to do really, really quickly? Because I don't want to end here because you are a woman that have experienced a lot. You have broken barriers. You have adjusted to a life that you were not prepared for. And I think that it is very valuable if we have you answer a dear not submission. Would you be open to that?
Ooh,
Do you want to do that?
let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Yes. All right. Well, first of all, the anonymous sender that sent this dear Nat submission, um, she she did write a whole lot.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to be sensitive to what I should no, she did identify her gender, or what she identifies as. So I am going to be sensitive to the information that she gave. You know,
Okay.
I find it, I mean, I'm very, very honored that women and people in general take the time to feel safe enough to submit their Dear Nat submissions. So I want to be very fragile and be very sensitive to what she's
Mm-hmm.
saying. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to open it up here. And this is a woman that in her mid 20s, she says that she lost her pride at a young age of blooming into adulthood. And she wants to know about how she can forgive herself because for the past 10 years, she has tended to change who she is for the people around her,
Mm.
change who she is for the relationships that she is in. And she has literally just changed who she is because of fear of losing people. And she has a past that she is not happy about, a past that she doesn't want to be held against her. And so she's giving me this information that, listen, I want to know, how do I forgive myself for my past? And I also used to do this in relationships where I used to change who I am. And what really is happening is she lost someone that she finally found that loves and accepts her. And unfortunately, because of her past coming in to haunt her, she has lost this relationship and she has lost, other friendships. And she is having a really, really hard time um, with her past and forgiving herself.
Okay.
And so, what would you say
Does it give her
to
age
that woman?
at all?
Um, That's a really, really good question. Well, she does kind of give us some context where she says, I am a woman in my mid 20s.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, she's mid 20s.
Okay. And you said she's dealt with this for 10 years?
And she said that for the past 10 years, that she went through a whole 10-year process where she would just change herself for the people
Okay.
around her. And that there's a past that she's not really too happy
Happy
about.
about. And
Right.
she's having trouble forgiving
And she's
herself.
having a hard time
Okay.
forgiving herself.
I think so what I would say to her is give yourself grace. Especially if you're in your mid 20s, right? So you're
I
saying,
would love to be in my mid 20s again.
me
Because wait until
too.
you get our age, girl. You
Me
really not going to
too.
care.
Um,
Uh-huh.
but we're talking about things that possibly happened in her teens, like 15, 16. You're
Yeah, because
still
mid 20s and 10 years.
you're you're in your teenage years. You're
Yeah.
15, 16, something,
Uh-huh.
So I would
Or
say,
young adult. Yeah.
yeah, I would
Uh-huh.
say give yourself grace. And the main thing that I tell everyone, and my friends can tell you this, you can tell them this, is learning to love yourself first.
That's right.
Learning to love yourself, learning to accept who you are, and knowing that people from the past, right, that don't want to see you as this new person, as this new mature woman,
Yeah.
changed woman,
Right.
then they're not serving you anything.
Right.
The people that want to see you as the old you can stay in the past.
Mm.
Um
Mm-hmm. Because I feel like we have all
we've all
experienced some
experienced that.
component of that.
Listen,
Where
I'm
people, yeah.
I'm not the same person I was 3 years ago.
Period.
We're always evolving.
I'd be mad as hell if somebody still held me to the person I was when I was 18.
Girl.
Because when I was 18, I was a different Natalie. I don't even speak the same. I don't think the same. I don't talk the
No.
same. I'm not the same girl that I was. But sometimes people will use your past to define you because it's convenient.
Absolutely.
It's
So they
convenient. It's the narrative that they want to hold on to.
and you know what? And they can hold on to that narrative because they're just a chapter in
Exactly.
your life.
Exactly.
They're in chapter 3, you're in chapter 24.
Period.
So what are
Period.
we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
And like, my favorite slogan, you can start again. You can choose to start again
Absolutely.
every day.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be the same person that you
Don't
were
pick
even
up the
yesterday.
scraps. Don't pick up the broken pieces.
Right.
Get a new scrapbook. Get a new glass. Start brand new
Yeah.
every day. Start brand new.
I mean, it's like Bad Bunny said it best. Ya Dios te perdonó. Falta tú.
Absolutely.
Yeah. God already forgave you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Your past does not define you.
Nope.
The poor choices that we all made poor choices.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate that people are allowing a past you, um, they're allowing that to now kind of tell a story. And that's too bad. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I mean, if people are gonna do that and they're gonna hold a past against you, those aren't your people.
They're not your people. Nope. You don't want them in your circle. No.
And I feel like, and I know that you can attest to this too. Like when we want to change and we want to evolve, that comes with losing people.
Oh yeah. Comes with losing a lot of people.
And I feel like there was, even before I met you, there was at least a few years there where I felt very alone because
Mm-hmm.
I had to shed old friendships and I had to shed an identity that I didn't want to, you're going to wake up one day and not like who you are.
Right.
And you have every right to change that.
Absolutely. And people are only going to see you as you see yourself, right? So you have to
Exactly.
be your own biggest fan because when you're your number one fan, you'll see that you'll start attracting different people. And those people that see you as your 16, 18, 20-year-old self.
Or the poor choices that you made.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's really incredible too that she also has reached the conclusion of like, oh wow, I used to do this. I used to
Mhm.
change myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think we all did that.
Yeah.
We mirror people that we love. We mirror friendships. We mirror, romantic relationships that we're in, and we kind of like, create this identity and we decide like, all right. I mean, the fact that she reached that type of awareness, give yourself more grace.
Yes.
Give yourself more grace and don't allow people to define who you are. You define who you are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And love yourself.
Key.
I love you, honey.
Love you too.
Thank you for coming on
Thank you for having me.
and sharing with us your story. Um, you know, you are one of the people that I admire in my life.
Aw.
Am I gonna cry?
Don't start.
No, we're not gonna do that, but you're just incredible.
I can say the same,
I know, just
I can say the
I
same.
see you how you are with Joe. Am I gonna ugly cry?
Aw.
No, really. It is the best thing because it has played a role even in my healing. It has played a role in when I feel down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going through stuff in my life. And I see you do what you do, and you don't do it feeling sorry for yourself. You know what I mean? You get up in the morning, you pick Joe up, and Joe is a big boy.
He is.
You know what I mean? And you're so strong, you pick him up, you get him to his appointments, you clock in at work, you deal with shit at work. You deal with bullshit. You come home, you get in the gym, and it is the best thing for me. And
Aw,
truly, thank you so
you.
much. And thank you for coming on. And oh my God, now that I am a complete mess. If this resonated, go ahead.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Real quick, because
Uh-huh.
I do have to give my girl a shout out.
Don't
My
even-
girl Nat.
Stop because I'm gonna start crying again.
Because one of my proudest moments was this weekend. We went out and she got stopped by a few.
Stop.
She got stopped by a few strangers.
You're like, my
You're
friend is
the
a celebrity.
TikTok girl. You're the girl with the podcast. And I'm like, yes, friend. Yes. Yes. So listen, the way that I inspire you, you inspire me, because I'm like, my friend, I'm like,
Right.
she's doing it. She's
love
doing
that.
it. And I love
Thank you,
that
baby.
everyone now gets to experience who
What you
are.
experience, right? Because people didn't know I was this funny.
No.
Right. Only you knew that.
I
And like
know.
the close friends around
I
me.
hate
And
that
now I'm
everyone
kind of
knows that
sharing
now,
it.
but that's okay.
And I'm sharing it, and I did it through my healing, and yeah, like
And I
I
love
said, you
that
were a
for
big
you.
part of my healing. But listen, if you're watching this and this resonated with you, you're a mom with special needs, you're a woman that is thinking about entering into a male dominating field, or you're just a woman that needs to hear the story of a woman that decided one day, you know what, we're going to start again. Please share this episode, like it, share it to someone that you love. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to my best friend. And just know that you can choose to start over again every day. You don't have to wait for a Monday. You don't have to wait for your friends to tell you who you are. You don't have to wait for a lane to open up. You can make your own lane. So this is Nat Said It. Wilmarie Diaz, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
I love you so much.
I love you.
Stay tuned, y'all. We got some good episodes coming up. And yep, Nat said it.
And maybe the question was never, why did this happen to me? Maybe the question is really, what now?
Yo, you should start a podcast.
The woman who stands in the middle of uncertainty and realizes she can't go back to who she used to be. Porque esa misma mujer eres tú.